he's expecting more Python from me, but for me actually, basically I have 3 years experience as a data engineering, but I don't have knowledge on ML. So that is the reason someone asked me to take the ML training. Yeah, if you ask me like what is the state means, I can um, basically I'm not developer, so I
Okay,
don't
so
know the
basically you are not
developer
from a CS
code.
background, right?
I'm sorry.
Basically you are not from computer science background, like coding and stuff. You don't do it right now, right? Means like you are not familiar with the technical stuff like Python and coding, right?
No, 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 no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. No, no. I think your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
Basically,
Hmm.
I'm working as a
Hmm.
data engineer.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I have 3 years experience.
Hmm.
So as a data engineer, I know how to enhance and all the code, but
Hmm.
I'm not comfortable with the full code from the scratch. But as a computer engineer, I mean data engineer, not
Hmm.
computer engineer,
Hmm.
data engineer, I don't need to know all those. So only thing I'm looking for outside the project, it's really hard to get in with the 3 years experience. As someone mentioned, I have to have the knowledge about machine learning. That is the reason um, info info lab IT. I don't know how they got my number, but
Hmm.
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
working with them to get into the
Oh.
project.
Oh. Oh.
So
Okay.
I think Anish is the POC for me. So he asked me to take machine learning. So this is the machine learning for the training. That's what I know, but I'm not 100% sure what you got it from them.
Yeah, yeah, fine. Okay. So basically, are you comfortable with Python programming language? Because most of the time will be dealing with it. Like code will be written on Python programming language. Are you comfortable with it?
In the middle, I think.
So are you able to hear me? Hello. Can you hear me properly? Means
This meeting is being recorded.
yeah. Sorry for the reconnection. I think I am having some poor internet connection. So basically, I want to ask you that are you comfortable with Python programming language? Means like because most of the time we will be dealing with Python for machine learning. Hello, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, yeah. For machine learning level, yeah.
Okay. So like see in Python we have some pre-written code. Like basically in
Yeah.
we say it as libraries. Okay. So
Sometimes your
yeah.
voice is literally, I didn't hear anything.
So whenever it will be like the case, you may please note that point on your chat. Okay. Because I don't know. I think I am having some internet connection problem, or I think you might have like because the tower. Okay. So no problem. Are you able to hear me now, or still it is flickering? Is the voice
The recording has stopped.
is the voice still flickering? Can you hear me now? I don't know why, but are you recording the screen or means Zoom call? Mm, so can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, now it's better. Okay means
Okay.
it's far better.
Hmm. So now you are able to hear me, right? Are you?
Yes, this sentence, yeah, I got it properly. Yep. Mhm.
Are you able to hear me? Can I start the meeting? Hello, Birantha. Okay. So you are able to hear me, right? Okay. So I'm considering that you are able to hear me properly. So starting with machine learning, right? So do you have some familiarity with what machine learning is basically, right? If not, you can say yes or no, right? From the if you are able to hear me or not. Okay. So I will get that
Sure.
confirmation. So basically, a machine learning is your wait. Let me just share my screen. Please tell me if you can see the screen. Is my screen visible to you? If my screen is visible to you, you can type yes. Okay. So basically, you can see machine learning as a subset of an artificial intelligence. Okay, you must have heard of a term artificial intelligence, right? You may have seen like products like ChatGPT and Google's Bard, and sometimes you use facial recognition, and on YouTube while seeing videos you get recommendation. So all that is through AI. Okay, so basically what machine learning is a subset of AI. Okay, that involves the development of algorithms. In machine learning, basically we develop some algorithms, okay, based out of the data that we have, okay, and some statistical models, and we try to create statistical model, okay. So basically what this model does is this model will try to predict or classify our data, okay. On the basis of our data, it will try to predict some new occurrence, or it will try to classify our data, okay, that will enable our computer to perform tasks without explicitly programming. Okay, so what happens in this programming, that we have to specify the task. Okay, so we have to give the certain task to our computer while programming. Okay, but when we are dealing with machine learning, right, so we don't have to explicitly program our computer. Okay, we just will just give the data to our computer, and it will try to learn. Okay, so it will try to learn and improve their performance over time with that data. Okay, so this process is known as machine learning. We use many different techniques and tools, and that we'll be covering and dealing with. So basically we will be using a tool that is Python. Okay, so in Python we have many pre-written code that will help us to achieve huge, means like it will help you to do a many complex thing in just few lines of code. Okay, are you did you got a basic overview of what machine learning is? Okay, so see how Python is involved in machine learning. Okay, um, Python in machine learning. Okay, so very Python is a very popular programming language for machine learning. Okay, because it is very simplicity, due to its simplicity. Okay, and it is also very readable. Okay, and it has some extensive libraries like you have NumPy for numerical calculation. Okay, you have NumPy for numerical calculation. Okay, you have pandas that will help you to manipulate your data, like changing some rows or doing some making some changes on your column, and your column will be like rows of data, like means thousands of data. Okay, so in a few lines of code you can just manipulate your data, like you can add some value to your data or subtract or do any computation and manipulate it. Okay, that using pandas. Okay, you can manipulate your data using this pandas library. There are some pre-written code, like a set of code is already written inside this numpy. These are called libraries. Okay, and you have some libraries like scikit-learn that help you to build some algorithms, okay, and statistical models. That is scikit-learn. You will see that on the back end a huge lot mathematical and statistical concept is used, but if you see, while as a data scientist, as a machine learning engineer, while we'll be using just one or two lines. Okay, so you don't need to learn all the algorithms or all the maths and understand how it is working. You just need to understand why we are using that algorithm, that certain algorithm, and for what purpose it is used. Okay, and inside scikit-learn you will see that you will find some very helpful code that will help you to write your build your machine learning model quickly and easily. Okay, and you have also some libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch that will provide you tool for data manipulation, mathematical operations, and implementation of various other machine learning algorithms. Okay, and because also Python is very versatile, like it makes it the suitable for tasks like that ranging from data pre-processing to building and deploying your machine learning model. You can also deploy your machine learning model with the help of Python web framework. Like you can build your machine learning model with these tools, and once you have built your model, you can deploy it on your website. Okay, so that other people may use, and that is also with the help of Python, like libraries like Flask or Django, and there are some other tools that help you to do this. Okay, so you can integrate your machine learning model with your website so that other people may use them. So that's the main reason of why most of the time people use Python for machine learning. Okay, now if you see that what is the first step while learning the machine learning. Okay, what is the first thing? You got the data. Okay, suppose say I'm taking for an example this data. Okay, so this is a Titanic data set. Okay, so this data contains the name of the people, what was their gender, age. Okay, what is the ticket that they took while the Titanic data set. Okay, so these are the people who were in the Titanic ship. Okay, and it contains some data. Okay, so beside this so in this data we will try to analyze some insights. Okay, we will try to see some insights and we'll try to make it proper so that we can use this data for our machine learning model. So you see that currently our data is not clean. Okay, so you see there is a missing value, here is a missing value, and sometime you might see that there are duplicate values, like a person of the name occurs two times. Okay, so there might be a duplicate values, and sometime you might see that their age contains a number that is not possible, like you will find 407 in age, so that is your outlier. Okay, so you have to handle those outliers. Basically we will see that what are the outliers and how to handle them outliers. Okay, and you will see that there is a data integrity issue, like some values are on float, like decimal points. Okay, and some values are integer. Okay, and so this might cause error and we can't give this data directly to our machine learning model. Okay, so this we need to treat before we do any actual data machine learning modeling. So this process is called as EDA. Okay, so the interesting thing is, whenever you are doing machine learning, whenever you are preparing your machine learning model, the most of the time, like the 70% of your time will be spent on exploratory data analysis. right? And just 20 to 30% time you will be just using these tools like scikit-learn and writing the name of the algorithm and giving your data to it. Okay, so it will be just 20%. You will be checking different algorithms and finding which algorithm fits the best. But this process of exploratory data analysis is crucial because this contains the 70% of your time. Okay, so there are some other steps as well. Okay, so data cleaning and some steps. Are you getting what I am trying to say? Is it still flickering? Is my voice still flickering? I see that you are getting a red tower on your beside your name. I think you have some connectivity issue. Can you hear me? You can type yes if you can hear me properly. Now can you hear me? I think there is some issue with the internet connection.
Now it's better. Yeah.
Okay. So did you got the point that I am trying to make till now here till here?
Yes. EDA. Up to EDA. Yep. Mhm.
So basically your EDA is the part where your 70% of your time whenever you are
Mhm.
preparing your machine learning model will be spent. Like you will be doing handling missing values. Your data contains missing values, right? Because due
Mhm.
to some human error, like whenever we trying to collect our data manually, we try to due to human tendency we try to miss, or we tends to do some false uh, recording of the data, right? So we have to handle those missing values. We have to deal with those outliers, like the example that I showed you, right? So there might be a case that due to some typing error or data data entry error, this 47 might be like 407, and this is not humanly possible because the age of someone cannot be like 407, right? But what will
Mhm.
happen is it will hamper our accuracy of our machine learning model. If we give this data directly to our machine learning model, it will not give you as much accuracy as we want. There is a term that we say as accuracy. This whole thing that we do is done to increase your accuracy. Like we do prediction, right? In machine learning, we try to classify like suppose you are given with an image of a dog, okay, and a cat, okay. So you want to classify whether this image is of a dog or cat. You are given with a new image and you want your model to tell if this image is of cat or not. So your model will basically classify, and how accurately do it predicts will depend on your accuracy of your model, okay. And your accuracy will be only correct if your data is clean and it contains only important features or important data or cleaned values, or it should not contains like missing values, because this will hamper your accuracy of your data. Okay, did you got that?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why this process EDA is very important, because it will directly it is directly related to your accuracy of your model. Okay,
Mhm.
because if you didn't do this EDA, this process well, your accuracy of your machine learning model will not be as better as it should be. Okay, so what basically EDA is? Okay, so in EDA, before just I'm giving you a theoretical concept. Okay, we will be doing some coding also, and we will try to I will try to give you a overview of how we perform this EDA and how we do some machine learning modeling. Okay, in just a while,
Okay.
but just let me give you give a theoretical concept of how what are these basically these technical jargons are. Okay, so basically
Okay.
we have EDA. Okay, exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis. Okay, so in this thing we try to basically uncover the hidden patterns, okay, and identify the data quality issues and potential error. Okay, and we try to inform like feature engineering and model selection. So like whichever feature is important, like we have these many features. Okay, so like passenger ID, survived, passenger class, name, gender, or age, or SIB, SP, parch, ticket, fare, cabin, embarked. Okay, so these many are the features. Okay, so in machine learning term we call them as feature. Okay, so we will try to see which feature, how many feature out of them are important. Okay, so if you see this passenger ID, it basically increments the value by 1, like 892, 893, 894. Okay, so this is like serial number, so this column might not be that important, so we may consider, or we may remove this column. Okay, so this step is like your feature engineering, so feature selection. Okay, so which feature are important to your model, like your age or your gender will be your important features. Okay, so this column is your important, like your, if a person is female or male, may consider some insights. Okay, may bring some insights to your analysis, so these both column are important, right? So this step we follow while our um, EDA process. Okay, and we try to basically do these many steps. We try to find how many missing values are there, we find them, and then we treat them. Okay, we try to handle them. There are many ways of doing handling these missing value, and we will try to see how we do. Like we can fill the missing values with, here for an example, in this case here we have missing values, so we can replace this missing value with the mean of this data set. Okay, so suppose say we have the mean like 21, so we can replace this empty cell with your 21. Okay, and so all the missing values will be replaced with your 21. Okay, so similarly you can perform any missing value handling step. Okay, so this will be all done through your Python code. Okay, so that all the values get replaced at once. Okay, and because see, why do the missing value may occur, because it might be a data entry error, like as we discussed earlier. It may be like data entry mistake, like technical glitches, or it might be a privacy concern, like some user may not find it comfortable to share their data to it. Okay, data to you,
Mhm.
so it may be a missing value, it will be a missing value for you. Okay, so these may be a cause for your missing value, but you have to find them and treat them out of your data sheet. Okay, and then
Mhm.
what we have to do is, after completing this missing value thing, we have to find outliers. Is there any outliers on your data? Like in this example we took age. Okay, so we will find how many outliers are there, so we will specify a bottom line and a top line. Okay, so suppose we will give a bottom line. Suppose say any people those are above age 80 will be considered as outliers. Okay, so suppose say a person that comes with the age 90, so he will be considered as outlier, so you may specify it, and there are techniques of doing it. And if any person came with an age of say negative, so it will be considered as outlier. Okay, so
Okay.
most of the time we perform a box plot, so this is a technique that we use to find outliers. Okay, so when we find outliers, we will just basically remove it or delete it, or basically nullify it, and then
Mhm.
with using the missing value technique, we will fill that value. because
Mhm.
see, this value might be due to your data entry mistake, right, or your
Yes.
technical glitches. So we'll try
Mhm.
to delete this or remove this data and make this column as null, and then after this column is null or nan, we will fill this value with your missing values. Okay, like we can fill the mean of the data and mean, median, mode, or whatever. Okay, whatever technique that you want to follow.
Okay.
Okay, so what are these outliers? So how they may occur? So basically, the outliers are your data points that significantly deviate. Okay, so they deviate from your typical pattern. So your typical pattern was that people will be from your age 1 to age 80. So this was the typical pattern. Okay, so if any data point will significantly deviate from this, okay, so it will be considered as outlier. Okay, so this might be due to like measurement errors, rare events, or data entry mistakes. Okay, and they like natural variability. Okay, so we try to use box plot and try to fix it. And let me just quickly cover them all. Like there is
Mhm.
another concept like that is data type inconsistency. Like in Python, you have data types in inconsistencies in consistencies, right? So in Python you have
Mhm.
data types like integer, int, you have string, str, you have float for decimal points values, float. Okay, so see, in Python the data type inconsistency occur when variables in a data set are assigned incorrect or mismatched data types. Okay, so suppose your age might be considered given as string values, this row, this column, but we know that age should not be considered as a string, it should be
Yes.
considered as integer because we might compare them, and we cannot compare the string values, right? We want to check this
Correct.
if this person age is greater than or smaller than this person age, so it should be an
Mhm.
integer value. Okay, so we can't do it as a string, so this brings the inconsistency to our data, so we have to handle that. Okay, so it might be occur due to like data collection or entry errors as outliers and missing values, or it may be like mixing data from any different source, like we may have appended or added some data points from any other source that might have the data in any other data type. Okay,
Mm.
so that might be
Mhm.
a cause of your data type inconsistency, and you have software glitches and inconsistent formatting, right?
Mhm.
So these are the things that we have to need to handle whenever you are given a data set, and once it is
Mm.
given, then you will give your data to your machine learning model. Like you have machine learning algorithms like linear regression, this is the name of your algorithm. Okay, regression. So we'll talk about it in a bit later, but let me show you how this thing works, like how we deal with missing values, outliers, data types in actual real world Python code. Okay, do you have
So,
any? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
please say.
So basically, you are saying missing value, we can take like
Hmm.
the numbers, right?
Hmm.
So that one, who provides all those info for us as a machine learning?
This thing.
Uh-huh. No, no. See, we get
Hmm.
data from someone, right?
Hmm.
So we have to process this data.
Hmm.
So in this case, as you said, can you please go
Yes.
back to the notes?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. This one, see, this we have to find out. We have to correct these three things, right?
Hmm.
So means these missing values, outlier and the data types. Those are the incorrect data in our data, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Data set.
Hmm.
So we need to correct that one. So in this case, as you mentioned, so
Hmm.
um, so my question is,
Hmm.
so miss, for example, missing value in the sense find out and treat, right?
Hmm.
Find out. We know we should know if there is number, for example, okay,
Yes,
it's
yes.
more than
Let me.
90.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it's like,
suppose
yeah.
which row of this data set contained missing value for age. Suppose here in this example
Yeah,
1, 2, 3,
34.5.
4,
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
Mm.
So 11th row contains a
Mm.
missing value for age. So this
Yes.
is I mean what I mean by saying find.
Yes. No. Yeah, yeah, I know that one.
Hmm, hmm,
Find and treat, right?
hmm,
So if we treat like, okay, in this case, if missing value is fine, okay. If it's null, we can treat like some number. We have to make it like here null value, or we can make it like 20, as you said, mean like 20 or 21, right?
hmm, hmm.
That one who provide that info. So, for example, we can use treat as a median value where the missing number.
Exactly right. Good question. So basically,
Uh,
that is your domain knowledge, right? Suppose say you
okay.
are working on this Titanic data set,
Mm-hmm.
or you are suppose say for an example you are working for a car
Mm-hmm.
company. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you are given a data with that is of your car company. Okay, or suppose say insurance. Suppose say insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, insurance will be a good example. Suppose say
Mm-hmm.
you are given an example of insurance. Who buys insurance or not? Okay, buys or not, yes
Mm-hmm.
or no. So this
Yeah.
data will contain some information regarding a person. Okay, so now
Okay.
see if there is a missing value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now this is the expertise. Now here your expertise will come. Like suppose say if you are good in insurance thing, or in your
Mm-hmm.
healthcare, in your if you have a
Mm-hmm.
background in your healthcare, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here you have a plus point. So you might know, you will have a domain knowledge thing. Okay,
Okay.
so you
Mm.
know what thing works best for this particular data set. Okay,
Okay.
so which value to be filled here. And but you see, if you don't have this domain knowledge, if you are
Mm.
generally given a data set that you don't know anything about
Mm.
it,
Mm.
so
Mm.
you
Mm.
will be using statistics for there.
Okay.
Statistics.
Gotcha.
And in
Mm-hmm.
statistics you have tools like box plot. So how box plot works? So it
Okay.
basically try to find interquartile range. Okay, so this is a whole interesting concept, how it try to find and compute and tell what is the top bar and bottom bar for any data set, so that it may consider any value above it or below it as an outlier. So we
Okay.
use this concept and these tools there to figure out which value to be considered as outlier, and which technique we should use, like mean or median or mode, for miss or filling the data set with your, for the filling your missing values with.
Okay. I got your point.
Hmm,
But
hmm,
um, my question is,
hmm,
see, for example, I'm asking this way. See, for ETL process, right?
hmm,
So ETL process, we don't know which one we can map it or not, right?
hmm,
So in this case, we will get some mapping document from the business team, right? Not business team,
hmm, hmm,
for someone.
hmm, hmm,
So that is what I'm asking. Which document we can use it? For example, if QA, they have like what is that documentation, something BRD or something. So in this, so the technique, I got your point. Okay. So for the technique also, we need to find out the
hmm.
um, correct number, right? That one, if anyone provide, or that one also, we can get it from the technique. That is my question.
Hmm. So there can be either way. Like if you are getting
Okay.
it
Got it.
as a provided, so it
Okay.
is the
Okay.
best
Now I
case.
got it. Mm.
So
Okay.
if you are
Okay.
getting any number, so it is the best case. But say if real world is harsh, you know that.
Yes.
Like most
Yeah.
of the time
Yeah.
we
Okay. Now
don't
I got it.
get that. So then
We
we
don't get
use.
any document from anyone,
Yes,
so we have
yes,
to find out. Okay,
yes,
got you. Yeah,
exactly.
please
So then
proceed.
we
Yeah.
use these things like statistical concept like mean, median, mode, and standard
Okay.
deviation, variation, variance, and
Mm-hmm.
permutation, combination, and we try to do that hard stuff.
Okay, got you. Please continue.
Yes. So now let me show you how this thing works on a real world code. Okay. So here I'm taking an example of this same Titanic data set. that I showed
Mm-hmm.
you earlier. This I have
Mm-hmm.
imported this data set into my working environment. Okay, so this is a
Okay.
Google Colab. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I know.
this is a
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like
Product. Mm-hmm.
IDE, integrated development environment. Okay, so it helps
Mm-hmm.
you to write your Python code and
Mm-hmm.
run at the same time. It will be all done at the server. You basically have to
Mm-hmm.
connect it. It will be assigning you a server on your remote. Okay, so this all the
Mm-hmm.
code will be run at there, and you will be seeing the output below your code. Okay, so what we have
Mm-hmm.
to do is we have to give the data set to it. So in by clicking here you can
Yeah,
upload the
your
data to
sample
it.
data you
Okay,
ready. Mm-hmm.
so I'm selecting this data set
Mm-hmm.
titan.csv, so I will
Mm-hmm.
import it. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so once this data get imported, now I will copy its path and I will paste it here. Okay,
You are ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so this is the path of this my csv file. Okay, so I'm using
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
pandas library. Okay, so as I told
Yeah.
you while
Mm-hmm.
before, so it will help
Yeah.
me
I
to
got.
do some data manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm using matplotlib, so it will help me to visualize our data. So if you want to suppose say plot a bar chart
Mm-hmm.
or box plot or any line chart, so it will help us to
Mm-hmm.
do that. Okay, so this matplotlib, so we can get all the charts in here only, in this particular
Mm-hmm.
data set. Okay, so
Yeah.
once I have imported, I will close that slider. Okay,
Mm.
so now here I
You
am.
are ready that.
So the first step that you have to do is you have to import your necessary libraries. Okay, so once
Mm-hmm.
that is done, you have to import, then you have to load your data set. So this is your
Yeah.
data set. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here we have a csv file, and by using this pd we are using this pandas. Okay,
Panda. Correct.
pandas,
Mm-hmm.
and using its function, that is read underscore csv. So with this read underscore csv, we are saying that you can store all the content of this csv file inside this data variable. Okay, so now all the content of this csv file will be stored inside this data variable. So wherever this data variable will be used, it will fetch all the information from this csv file. Okay, so by using this
Mm-hmm.
data.head, we are
That means
displaying
better.
all the 5
Mm-hmm.
rows of our data set. So default value is 5 here. If I give it 10, so it will give
Oh,
me
this one.
the
Okay.
first
Mm-hmm.
10 rows of our data. Okay, so since I've used here 10, so it will give me the
Oh,
first.
it starts from zero.
Yes, so it starts from 0 because the
Okay.
indexing in python basically is 0. Okay, in
Oh
any
yeah.
programming
Yeah.
language
That
you
was
will see
right.
that it will be 0
Yeah. Okay.
and till
Mm-hmm.
9, so the whole will
Mm-hmm.
be like 10. Okay, so 0 1 2
Okay.
3. Okay, it will be like 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give you a gist or a overview of your
Data.
data.
Mm.
Okay, so once we have loaded our data, we will try to see how our data looks like. Okay, so we can wait, huh? Yes, so we are trying to see a missing values. Okay, so we are
Missing.
dealing with
Yeah.
missing values. We will see what
Mm-hmm.
missing values are there in the data set. Okay, so before showing the chart, let me explain you. Okay, this code. So we are using this plt. So this plt was our matplotlib. Okay, so plt was our matplotlib for visualization. So we
Mm-hmm.
are using this tool. Okay, so this is a pre-written code.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
we are using this plt dot figure. The figure is a function that takes
Okay.
the size of the figure. Okay, and the important thing here is this line. So we have to specify what kind of chart we want to visualize. Okay, so here we are
Okay.
specifying that we want a bar chart. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we are saying that data is null. This is important thing. What this
Continue. Okay.
what this is null does is null will find all the null values out of your data,
Mm-hmm.
all the missing values
Mm-hmm.
from your data. Okay, so how many missing values will be there column wise, so it will be finding that.
Mm.
Okay,
Giving the
so
title.
now just we
Okay.
are giving the title, x label, the x label, and y label that will be displayed on your y axis. Okay, and we are displaying it. So it will show us all the
Learn value.
missing values on your x-axis as well as y-axis. Okay, so this is the chart that you may see. Okay,
Ah, okay.
so we have passenger id, there are zero missing values. So in the x-axis we have variable name, and on the y-axis we have the number of missing values. And you see passenger id survived, p classes, name, sex, sp, parts, ticket, fare have a little missing value here.
Very
Okay,
well. Mm-hmm.
and embarked have no missing values. Okay, so it is like at 0. But if you see at age, here we have like around 80. Okay, so here
Eight. Yeah.
around 80 we have uh, missing values. And if you see in cabin is like around 300.
350. More than 300.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than 300. Okay, so missing
Mm-hmm.
values are there. So suppose so let's find how many rows do we actually have. So we can find that using data.shape function. Okay, so it will give me how many rows are there on of our data. Like we can see that since it is a low number of this is a less number of data set, so you may see here we have 419 rows, right?
Yeah.
419 rows.
400. Mm-hmm.
And since the first cell is not a data, so it will be
Yeah.
like 418. So we
Mm-hmm.
have 418 number of rows, and we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 12 number of columns. Okay, so if
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
do this data.shape, it will be giving me exactly that in just one click. So we have 418 number of rows
Mm-hmm.
and 12 number of columns. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so now we can
Yes.
see that out of 418 rows, we have around 320 missing values for cabin.
Yeah. That's all right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we get this insight till now by drawing this graph. Okay, so now that we are clear that we need to deal missing values for age and cabin till now. Okay,
Mm.
so now we can also do this numerically. If you don't want to get the chart, you can also do it this numerically using this data.isNull function. Data.isNull will basically give
Mm-hmm.
you the missing values, and sum will basically it will sum all those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Yes.
this thing data.isNull.mean will find your mean of your data.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so now here you can see that in passenger id there is no missing value,
Mm-hmm.
so it is 0. But in age you may see that there is 20, 0.20, right? So it is around
Mm.
20% of your data is missing. It gives you a insight
Oh,
that
okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
20% of your data is missing, and around
Okay.
0.2% of your data of fare is missing,
Yeah.
and
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
78% of data is missing for your cabin.
Mm.
So you get this numerical summary for your missingness.
Another way. Yeah. Mm.
And now we will try to check for missing values in specific column. Suppose say we want to check how many missing values are there in age. So we can do that by specifying that in square brackets. You have square brackets. Okay, so you will specify the variable name that we have imported earlier, and in the square brackets you will write the name of your column,
Mm-hmm.
and inside that these quotes will be your column name. For example, in this case we are trying to find how many missing values are there for age, and then we are trying to say is null will basically count how many missing values are there, and we are summing them up, summing all the rows. So those are 86 basically. So if I do this for
Okay. Mm-hmm.
cabin and I click on this play button or run, so it will tell me that there are 327 missing values for this cabin.
Okay.
Is it do you find is it interesting to
Yeah.
you? Means like,
Yeah, actually, yeah, I don't want to interrupt. See, if you learn from machine learning, it gives all the algorithm. Okay,
yes, there
it's
is no
not
interesting
giving
thing
like
like you.
yeah, yeah. So now I got you. So it's totally different from data engineering. Data
Exactly.
engineering, it's kind of yeah.
Exactly.
Now I
See, in
got you.
machine
Yeah.
learning, all the stuff is done in backend. You don't see anything.
Yep.
You just write
Mm-hmm.
a line of code and it runs, and it takes like 10 to 15 minutes or sometime like hours, and it gives you output. But here we are seeing all the stuff in real world. Like you click, and in 2 3 seconds it will load and will tell you what your actual
Yeah,
thing is going on.
code is not that hard for like machine learning or data engineering. It's like I'm not 100% sure about developers, might be developer, but still it's like inbuilt functions are so many, right? Nowadays it's like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, now I
For the
got you.
same
Yeah,
for the same thing, like there are multiple different ways of doing that using different
okay, yeah.
functions.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, there is a function like is na. So you can find the, like here we find the what percentile or the what
Mm-hmm.
percentage of your data is missing with this mean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Mm-hmm.
you can find the sum, how many number of your data is missing. So you are having 418 rows, out of that
Mm-hmm.
86
Mm-hmm.
is missing. So you got that. So now
Mm-hmm.
in your mind you have that, yes, I have missing values in my data that I need to take care of. So we will
Yeah.
do some techniques and we'll try to handle those. And now we'll see, is there any missing values present in my data that is an outlier.
Yeah.
Is any
Mm-hmm.
data that is an outlier to me. Okay. So now
Mm-hmm.
some complex code starts coming in, and now here you needs to get bit techie, or means like here you need
Yeah.
some python code or python knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see, here we are doing we are plotting a scatter plot. Let me run it. So it basically is giving us means basically this code is giving this thing like potential outliers. Okay. So what this code is doing, that we are giving this a column name that is age. Okay. So we have given this column to it, like this column to it, age, all the data of it, and we are saying that try to give the 25 percentile. Are you familiar with the concept of percentile?
Mm, yeah, I
You may think like
percentile.
but it is not like
Uh-huh.
percentage, but for this level you may think as like it is a percentage. Okay.
Okay, okay. Mm.
Yes. So like it will find what is the 25th percentage, not a percentage actually, but for your ease of your understanding,
Mm,
let's
mm,
take
mm,
as a
mm,
percentage. Okay. So it will
mm,
take your percentage, like what is the
mm,
25th percentage of this data, like it will
mm.
arrange this
Okay.
in ascending order, like from sort lowest to highest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm,
from suppose say like its age, so it will take like 10, 12, 30, 15, 16, like in ascending order. Okay. So it will take
mm-hmm.
27, 38, 49, up to like 60, or suppose say 90. Okay.
Mm,
So it will try
okay.
to
Mm,
arrange them. Okay. And now suppose
mm-hmm.
say in our data we also have any outlier that is 110. Okay, suppose. So now what this data will do, and suppose there is also an outlier that is -1. Okay. So it have arranged them. Okay. So how we are find the this particular value, that is q1 and q3. Okay. So I think
Okay,
it
got
will
it.
be little bit complex at this point. Should I
No, no,
continue
it's
to
fine. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, 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 continue. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. So see, of what we are doing, that we will arrange all
Mm-hmm.
these values from ascending order. Okay. So from
Mm-hmm.
sort to from the lowest to highest. Okay. So then we'll try to figure out what is the 25th percentile of our data. So suppose say 10 is our 25th percentile, or say 12 is the 25th percentile of our data. Okay. So this is a lower bound.
Okay.
Okay. So lower bound. So what we
Mm-hmm.
will do is we will try to multiply any number that is 1.5, suppose, and this is for an take example, let's take this 27 is an IQR, interquartile range. Okay. You may just think as it is, like you don't think
Oh,
how
okay,
the
okay.
value comes, but you may think that
Mm-hmm.
IQR is 27. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what we will do is we will subtract this q1. Q1 was 12, quartile 1 was
Mm-hmm.
12. Okay, so we will
Mm-hmm.
multiply this 1.5 with this IQR was 27, so we will multiply this value with this and subtract
Mm-hmm.
it from q1. So we will
Okay.
suppose, let me take any calculator. Okay, so
No, no, you can proceed. Actually, we don't need to go through all
okay, okay,
those. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So the thing is, here my question is, how did you find out 1.5? I got Q1, I got
No,
Q3,
this is a
I
basic.
got the point.
Yes, yes. So this is a basic rule. Like means like most of the
Okay.
time
Yeah,
people
that's what I
tends
got.
to
Okay.
use. Yes. So you may change it
Okay. Yeah.
according to your requirement, but like it is a
Requirement. Okay.
general rule of thumb. Like
Yeah,
it is a
got it.
convention. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So so it will give you a value that will be like suppose say basically we are multiplying this value with IQR. So it you
Yeah,
may think
got
of
it.
that. So it will be
Mm-hmm.
greater than this q1. Okay. So this value will be in negative. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so that will be considered now as your lower bound.
Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm.
So if you get any value below that,
Mm.
so that is your outlier.
Okay. Outlet. Okay. Mm.
And similarly for upper bound, suppose say this was your
Yeah.
75th percentile. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this was your q3, this 60 is your
Mm-hmm.
75th
Mm-hmm.
percentile, and this will
Mm-hmm.
be considered as
Mm.
q3. So we will add 1.5 times IQR. IQR was this 27. So we will
Mm-hmm.
multiply 1.5 to this value and will add this to q3, that is 67.
Mm. Yes.
So
Yeah.
it will give us certain value and it will be your upper bound. So any value that
Correct.
will be above upper
More than
bound
that.
will be considered as
Mm-hmm.
outlier.
Oh, correct.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is the code, and we have given our age data, and it performed all the computation, and it gave us
Mm-hmm.
that there are two rows that contain
Mm-hmm.
your outlier.
Okay. Okay.
So you may see that age like 67 and it is giving 76. Now it is thinking for some reason, like it have performed some calculation and saying that age, the 67 age is your outlier. So as we may see that it is
Mm-hmm.
possible that a human may contain this age, right?
Yeah.
But we may change some value, like we may multiply it with 2 or do something. But yes, so basically it is giving like some with some accuracy, because this data was not actually fit for this outlier thing. Okay,
Okay.
so it gave us that these two data points may be your outlier, like
Mm-hmm.
this age and this age, like 76 is and 67 is very old from our regular data point. Like a regular data point is like our 27, 47, 47, 62, and like most of the time it is between 15 and 30, right? 14, 22, 36, 26, 18, 21, 46, 23, 63, 47, 24. Okay, so this is
Mm-hmm.
a like this is a pattern. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
and and these value are not fitting in that pattern.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So we try to apply this box plot and try to find the upper bound. Okay, so if you
Mm.
try to see what is the upper bound, so it will also give you upper bound to you, so that you may see above which value it is saying that it is an outlier, upper bound. And also we want to see which it considered as a lower bound. So it is saying that any value that will be above 66. So you were saying that how we got this value. So in this case we use a statistical method. Okay,
Yeah.
so it
Mm-hmm.
gave us that this value 66,
Mm-hmm.
any value that will be above 66 will be considered as outlier. So here we, in that data set, we got these two values that were above 66, that is passenger ID is 7973 and 988. Okay, and for lower
Mm-hmm.
bound it gave us -6, like any value that will be below -6 will be considered as outlier. Okay,
Yes.
so this is
Mm-hmm.
the basic statistical method for detecting outlier.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so now we know that these are the two outliers, and now we can see manually and find try give some ways and try to see some ways to replace them, or if we can afford, we can delete them or remove them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, are you do you have any doubt till here in this?
No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Okay, so yes, so if you want to draw this, see what was the lower bound. So as I told, draw a diagram here. Yes, not much in much detail. So we got a lower bound. Yes. So okay, my pen is, yes. So we got a lower bound that was -6, and we got an upper bound that was 66. Okay, so we'll get a box plot like this. Okay, so it contains a line that will be your IQR, and it contains a line that is your Q3, and it contains your line that is Q1. Okay, so Q1, if you see here, the Q1 was our 25th quartile, percentile, and your Q3 was 75th percentile, right? So similarly, these are the statistical method, and you draw a plot, and this plot is known as box plot. Okay, so the upper bound, any value above this 66, okay, and below this minus 66. Okay, so here is the same diagram. Okay, so we have a function that is box plot, data dot box plot. So you may see this. So
Mm.
this is our Q3, this point, at this point, like 39, around 39 we have our Q3, and this 75th
Point
percentile.
seven. Mhm.
This is the Q3, and this is a Q1, like 20, around 21 or 22.
Mhm.
This is a Q1,
Mhm.
25th percentile. Okay,
Correct.
so this, so, and this is your lower bound. It should be like around -6, but here in it is giving some error, or means
Mhm.
it is not visualizing properly. And in the upper bound is 66, so it is showing almost accurately 66. Okay, so this is your upper bound, and these are the two outliers that we have, like around 67 first outlier, and
Yeah.
around
So.
78, I guess, 76. Okay, 76 your another outlier. So this is how we can visually see how many outliers are there. Okay,
Mhm.
so this was a simple way of detecting outliers. If you don't have any fixed value, if you have these
Mhm.
fixed value, which is the best case scenario, you don't need to do this. You will say lower bound is equals to this value, upper bound is equals to this value, and if any value comes, and this is the
Yeah.
code for replacing all, for getting your potential outliers, it will store all
Yeah.
those. Okay,
Mhm.
so that will be your best case scenario. So it is saying
Okay.
that any age, data age, that is mm, greater than greater than your
Mhm.
lower bound will be
Mhm.
stored in your potential outliers. Sorry, any data that is lower than your lower bound will be stored as in your potential outliers, and any data that is
Yeah.
greater than your upper bound will be stored in your potential outliers. So in potential
Mm.
outliers we have now two.
Mhm.
So if you have any hard coded values, so that will be a best case scenario. So if you don't have, we can use these techniques like box plot. Okay, so that was it for the your outliers. And similarly for, so here this is an example, another example, we may skip this. So here is a data type inconsistency. Okay, so if you check the data types of our data, like this was our data, right? So if you
Mhm.
check the
Correct.
types of it, like passenger ID was integer 64, integer
Mhm.
64, yes, so this was your integer, right? 892.
Mhm.
and survived was also your integer. This was also integer, so p class was also integer. Your name is as object, okay. So and gender also, sex also is your as object, okay. And age, if you see, is here float, okay. And you have given with all the data types of your column, okay. So this is the code. If you want to check specifically for any column, it's a data type, okay. So for age, here we are checking that its data type is 64.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find any error, or if you find any inconsistency, you can change it, okay. And similarly, here is you how you visualize your data type in your table. Wait, yes. So this is also a way of you can do with this is just a code that basically aligns your text
Yeah,
to
like that.
center, okay.
Yeah.
So let's skip this. And there is also one more thing. We talked about three things, right? Here we didn't talk about duplicate values. We talk about missing values, we talk about outliers, data type inconsistency, but we didn't talk about duplicate entries. So there might be a case on your data set that might repeat, okay, due to the technical glitches or typing errors, okay. So you have to also deal with the duplicate values, okay. So this is a code that will help you to find if any duplicate values are there present on your data, okay. So since in our data there is no duplicate value, so it is giving us null, okay. So it is giving us sum as 0. So in this data set, that is your Titanic data set, there are no duplicate values. So if there would be, it will be giving you the number of duplicate values.
Okay.
So this is how you do it, okay. So you can use some techniques like for handling duplicate value, like you want to keep the first occurrence, so you can say data dot drop duplicates, so it will drop your duplicate values and it will keep the first occurrence of it. And similarly, if you want to keep the last occurrence, so you can say data dot drop duplicates and it will keep your last occurrence, okay. So this is how you do your EDA or exploratory data analysis before doing the actual, or not actual, this you may consider this as your actual machine learning process, okay. Because this will take your most of the time whenever you are trying to get high accuracy from your model, okay. So in machine learning part, just you give your data and it is done. So any doubt till now? I
No,
think.
I'm actually, yeah. Now, yeah, I got how machine learning works apart from tutorial. I mean documentation. Now I got the real thing. Yeah. Even though if you read it and I mean documentation, I, actually I was wondering how what is there in this. Now I got it. Yeah.
So you find it interesting, right?
Yes. Yes.
So similarly, we
So
have yeah, please say.
no, no. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, we have talked about it later.
So similarly, we have another means different thing, like we find correlation between different variables. Like we find the relationship between different variables. Like here we are finding the relationship between age and fare. Is there any case there, like if the passenger age is increased, do the fare also increase? So we
No.
trying to find like the relationship between them. So we try to find like the if the female may have a ticket or the fare price lower than male, we try to see if we can find such correlation or such relationship between variables, okay. And we do many different things, like we group two, or we aggregate variables, and we do this thing and these stuff in this. And
Okay.
then yes. So and also we have like, now suppose say we have earlier figured out how we have found out how many missing values were there, right? Now how will handle them, how will treat them? So we can just see that So here where we were having the 86 missing values for age, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now suppose say we want to replace all of them with mean.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
In
Mean
our
value.
in our case we have 30 as our mean for this data
Mm-hmm.
set.
Mm-hmm.
If you will try to find the mean of your this data set or this
Mm-hmm.
column, it will be your 30. Okay,
Okay.
so now we want to replace all these 86 column with your mean. So basically what we do is we try to find a value that will be best fit and will not hamper our accuracy of our data. Okay, so without except mean you can use median also, you can use
Mm-hmm.
mode also. You will be using that particular value which will hamper your accuracy least or will
Okay.
basically improve your accuracy. So you will be
Mm-hmm.
using that value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in our case we are using just mean to replace this missing values from this age. So this is a code. Basically we will fill the missing fill any is a function that takes a value that we want to fill, and it will take a variable name, like it will be age for here, like it will fill all the missing values from this age column with this value, and this value is the mean, and this mean is 30. Okay, so if I
Okay.
run from here, I guess, and df1. Okay, so here I will run df dot head. I have given the wrong path here. Df dot yes, mean is 30, and now if I run this function, so it have replaced all the missing values right here, this function.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now if you will check this code again, earlier that we did, it gave us age as 86, right? Now
Now
if you
it's
see,
0.
it's 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isn't it
Mm-hmm.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like all
True.
the values are replaced just at one click.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So on the further upcoming videos, means for the sorry, in the further upcoming sessions, we will be dealing such concepts only. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
means
Mm-hmm.
we will give a few weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks in EDA. We will try all the techniques, and we'll try to see what other things are there, like this sanity check. Today what we dealt was sanity check. This was a one thing,
Mm-hmm.
like we try
Mm-hmm.
to check if there, if our data contain any sanity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we did that today, and there are
Mm-hmm.
many other things as well, like univariate analysis. Univariate
Mm-hmm.
analysis is you try to analyze your single column. Okay, so this
Mm-hmm.
is one thing. And you have bivariate analysis, you try to combine two columns and try to analyze them, like you will try to combine two columns, right, like age and fair, and will try to analyze them. So this is
Mm-hmm.
your different topic. And you have correlation matrix, you have cross tabulation, and you have grouping aggregation. Okay, so these are the things
Mm-hmm.
that we will be covering in further upcoming weeks, and then we will try to gradually see some algorithms of machine learning, and we'll try to do some amazing projects, right? Okay, so just a bit before just closing up, and let me get show you like how we get the data. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes mm, 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 and we'll do some projects related to it. Okay, at the end of this basically course, we
Mm-hmm.
will try to get from getting our data to making it, making the model out of it. Basically,
Okay.
let me find where is the, Okay, I will demonstrate it that to you in a next class. Okay, so
Sure.
yes, you may continue what your experience of this class.
Sure. So, how long will it take to finish
To
this class?
finish
Yeah. What is
this
your plan? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
machine learning, right, means
Mm-hmm.
like see EDA will take approx your 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Means
Every week, every day, right? 1 hour,
yes,
1.5 hour. Okay.
yes,
Means
yes.
2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we
Okay.
will
I
try
get
to see some algorithms, like not how to run those algorithms, but we will try to figure out how that algorithm is actually working. Like I took
working.
an
Yeah.
example of your linear regression, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
will see that what this that algorithm is, linear regression. So how that this linear regression algorithm is working, we will try to see that how this
Mm-hmm.
best line is fitted. You see this line.
Okay.
So this
Mm-hmm.
line is actually the algorithm. What this algorithm does is it basically try to draw this red line. This is your data point. These are your data points. You will feed
Mm-hmm.
your data points to your this algorithms, that is a regression, and your
Mm-hmm.
this regression algorithm will draw this red line.
Okay.
So while you do a machine learning, you just see that your output in your output that this line is drawn. But how this works, how this mathematics works, or
Mm-hmm.
what are the value that may depend or will hamper or your will
Okay.
change, will lead to the
Mm-hmm.
change of your data. We will try to discuss
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. And then we will try to see some. I think it will take approx till doing this much only. It will take at least 1 month. Means like in the 1 month we will be doing some good knowledge of it.
Okay. Okay, Himanshi. Yeah. Okay, Himanshi. Ranju. Okay. So, um, so this is the time works for you. For me, 8. For you, I think 9:30.
For you, which time fits best?
I'm in PST, so this time works for me exactly.
Okay, this
Even
9:30, right?
no,
Okay,
for me morning 8 a.m. We started at 8 a.m.
okay.
PST is like yeah 3 hours ahead of EST. So
So in the morning 8 a.m., right?
yeah, for me a.m. For you it's like 9:30 p.m. Does it work or do you have any other
Okay, okay, okay,
options?
okay, okay. So you are not in India, right?
No, I'm in LA.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Fine,
Lata.
fine, fine, fine. Yes, so it is fine. 9:30 is best for me. Yeah.
Okay. Are you available in the morning IST hours?
In morning, like I will be available from 8 between 8 to 10 IST.
Morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that works for me as well. Exactly. So which time you want me to connect? Morning or evening
Like
for IST?
preferably, I will recommend like evening for evening IST, like this
That is
9:30.
fine. Okay, then we stick on I 9:30 IST. For me, it's 8 a.m. PST. I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if there would be any emergency or will postpone, if there any rescheduling, we will do that. Okay. Means if someday we
Okay.
miss the class, then we will be joining at the next day at the morning for me
Yeah.
and for you at the evening. Okay.
Sure. So I don't have any contact from you. I have only Anis contacted me. So if anything, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with through Anis as well, or you can text me directly as well. I'm okay.
Okay. You can take my Gmail mail ID.
Sure. What is that?
So I'm giving it in a chat box, or you may note it.
Mhm.
It is Chitranshu Harbola.
Better you can type it.
Okay. Yes, yes.
I don't want to miss. Yeah.
I think they should not have any problem while sharing the mail. I think, right? Or should I ask them?
It's between yeah. We are not doing anything
Yes.
legally, but they are not recording. That is fine, I think.
Okay. 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 Yeah, they have left, right?
Yeah,
So I
that
am
is fine.
sharing you. You may check. Chitranshu Harbola
You
1 at
want
the
my
rate
number?
gmail.com. Okay.
It, it's easy. You want my number?
Yes, you may share it.
Yeah, it's. Can you write it down? It's 818
Wait.
230
Uh,
2744.
Wait. Just a second. Let me pick up my. Yeah. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, it's 818
818
230
230
2744.
2744. Okay. Yeah. I'm
Yes.
repeating. Yeah. 818
Mm-hmm.
230
Mm-hmm.
2744.
Correct. Yeah, Brenda. You
Okay.
can WhatsApp me. Yeah,
Okay. So I will text you hi on WhatsApp. Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, we will continue tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to update Anis. Our class is done today, so I will continue with Sitranju.
Okay. Yes. So tomorrow we will be discussing the similar thing. Okay. Means like
Okay.
the further things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you want me to go through any document or anything? Please let me know. In the meantime, I will go through all those before coming to your class. Like, yeah, it's
Mm,
easy for me to understand
yes,
it.
I will be sharing this link to you. Okay.
Uh,
This code. You may try to run this on your. I'm sharing you
mhm.
here only. So you may try to copy and save it as your. I will share you it and on WhatsApp as well. This link. Okay.
Sure.
So you may go through this notebook or
Mm-hmm.
code and try
Mm-hmm.
to do some changes or try to do means write run this code and try to do some means like you can try to play with it. Okay.
Sure.
Yes. And if you
Okay.
want
Yeah.
this notes you may let me know. I think you won't be because the writing and all is not that good.
No, no. Actually, yeah, it's fine. You can send this one as well. It's kind of, yeah. I remember whatever you said.
Okay, okay,
So
I
if
will
I see the
be
note, I can remember. Yeah.
I will make this as a PDF and I will send it to you. Okay.
Sure. So I will text my email ID in the WhatsApp if you texted me.
Okay, no, in the WhatsApp only I will share this PDF to you.
Sure.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. See
Okay.
you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Good night. Good morning for you.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to say anything. That is the reason. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.